Japan. A nation where the past whispers through bamboo forests, and the future races through neon-lit skylines. A land where ancient shrines coexist with cutting-edge technology, where samurai legends echo in quiet mountain villages, and where every moment feels like a scene from a beautifully crafted story. This is not just a destination, it's an experience of the soul. Let's embark on a journey through the wonders of Japan, a place where tradition, innovation, nature, and culture blend into an unforgettable masterpiece. Imagine your first steps in Tokyo, a city that moves with the rhythm of a heartbeat, never resting, always evolving. Here, towering skyscrapers shimmer beside historic temples like Sensoji, where incense drifts into the sky, carrying prayers and centuries of devotion. Wander through the electric paradise of Akihabara, where anime dreams, video games, and cutting-edge gadgets pull you into another dimension. Then find tranquility in the quiet corners of Ueno Park, where cherry blossoms fall like soft pink rain in the spring. Tokyo isn't just a city, it's a universe of experiences. And yet, a short ride on the Shinkansen, the bullet train that seems to fly across the land, brings you into Kyoto, the heart of old Japan. This ancient capital breathes history in every wooden beam and stone path. Step into the Aroshiyama bamboo grove, and you'll find yourself swallowed by towering stalks that whisper with the wind, transporting you into a different world. Explore Fushimi Inari Shrine, where thousands of vermilion torii gates form a tunnel that leads not just through the forest, but deep into your imagination. Kyoto is elegance, reverence, and timeless beauty sculpted into reality. Venture to Nara, and meet the sacred deer that roam freely like mythical guardians of an ancient land. Here, the great Buddha of Todaiji rises in majestic silence, a monument to peace and reflection. The deer bow gently as if acknowledging the wisdom of this statue, reminding us that harmony between nature and humanity is not a dream, it's a way of life. Then, head north to the icy brilliance of Hokkaido, where nature paints with bold strokes. In winter, snow blankets the land like a dream of purity. The Sapporo Snow Festival turns the city into a wonderland of icy sculptures, where art meets frost. In summer, fields of lavender in Furano roll out like purple carpets under bright skies. Hot springs bubble up in Noborabetsu, offering warmth and healing, watched over by towering volcanoes and thick forests. Hokkaido is wild and soothing, a raw symphony of Earth's finest elements. On the western coast, Kanazawa tells its own quiet story. A city less touched by time, its samurai districts and geisha teahouses still echo with the soft rustle of silk and the glow of paper lanterns. Here lies Kenrakuin Garden, one of the most exquisite gardens in all of Japan. Each stone, stream, and tree has been placed with the grace of a poet. This is where nature is not just observed but revered. Now travel south to Hiroshima. A place where pain transformed into peace. The atomic bomb dome stands in haunting silence, a reminder of destruction. Yet the city pulses with life and resilience. The Peace Memorial Park blossoms with cherry trees, and the Children's Peace Monument reaches toward the sky with hope. Hiroshima does not forget, but it forgives and inspires the world to strive for better. Just off the coast lies Miyajima Island, a sacred place where the iconic floating torii gate of Itsukushima Shrine rises from the sea as if held by the gods themselves. When the tide rolls in, it seems to hover between sky and water, a breathtaking illusion that feels like a scene from a legend. Further south, the lush forests and steaming volcanic landscapes of Kyushu beckon. In Beppu, steam dances through the streets, rising from the earth in hot springs known as hells, each one with its own color, personality, and legend. In Nagasaki, the weight of history blends with the grace of cultural harmony, where Western and Japanese influences merge into a mosaic of resilience and beauty. Okinawa, Japan's tropical treasure, floats in the warm southern seas, kissed by sunlight and tradition. Its crystal waters sparkle with life, while coral reefs teem with color beneath the surface. This island chain tells a different story of the Ryukyu kingdom, of warriors and peace, of island dances and haunting sanshin music that echoes at sunset. Okinawa is serenity, strength, and soul. But Japan's wonder lies not just in its landscapes or cities, it lives in its people. In the bow of a shopkeeper greeting you with sincerity. In the precision of a sushi master who spends decades perfecting a single craft. In the gentle hands that serve tea during a ceremony so graceful, it feels like time itself slows down to watch. The culture of Japan is woven from rituals and reverence. The seasonal festivals, like Hanami, where crowds gather under cherry trees, celebrating fleeting beauty with song and sake. Or Tanabata, where wishes are tied to bamboo and carried by the summer wind. And then there's Oban, when lanterns float down rivers, guiding ancestral spirits home, reminding everyone of their place in a long, living story. Japan is a country that honors detail, the crackle of handmade pottery, the folds of a kimono, the clean lines of a Zen garden. Here, the mundane becomes sacred. Even a simple bento box is a canvas of color, balance, and love. It's not just about doing, it's about doing with heart. In the snowy peaks of the Japanese Alps, life slows down in onsen towns like Hakone and Kusatsu. Imagine soaking in a natural hot spring, steam rising around you, surrounded by pine trees and snowflakes. The scent of cedar, the distant call of a bird, and the soft laughter of locals all combine into a meditative harmony. Here, the soul finds stillness. And then there's Mount Fuji, the silent guardian of Japan. Standing tall and ethereal, its snow-capped peak piercing the sky like a dream. At sunrise, when the first light kisses its peak, Mount Fuji becomes more than a mountain, it becomes a symbol of endurance, of beauty, of the spirit of Japan. This is just the beginning of the journey. Japan is not a place you simply visit. It's a place you feel. A place that changes you softly, slowly, and forever. To truly understand the wonders of Japan, one must go deeper, not just across its landscapes, but into the soul of its seasons. Because in Japan, each season is a chapter of poetry, a moving canvas that changes not only the view but the rhythm of life itself. Spring arrives like a dream. Cherry blossoms, sakura, burst open across the nation in a soft explosion of pink and white. Streets become rivers of petals. Parks like those in Tokyo's Shinjuku Gyoen, or Kyoto's Maruyama Park, transform into realms of joy, love, and nostalgia. Families picnic under the blooming trees, laughter rising with the breeze. But sakura is fleeting. Within days, the blossoms fall, and it's gone. That is its magic, reminding everyone that beauty is precious because it doesn't last forever. Then comes summer, bold and vibrant. The countryside glows green, rice fields ripple under golden light, and cicadas sing their eternal song. It's the season of fireworks, Hanabi Taikai, where night skies are painted in color, and people gather in yukata, the summer kimono, to celebrate under stars. At places like Lake Biwa or the Sumida River, the sky bursts into fire while the earth holds its breath. Summer in Japan is alive, filled with energy, music, and the scent of grilled food from bustling festival stalls. Autumn arrives with quiet elegance. Trees blush with red, gold, and amber as Koyo season begins. In Nikko, the forest becomes a cathedral of color. In Kamikochi, the mountains reflect flames of foliage in still waters. Even the air seems different, crisp, contemplative. Temples and shrines are framed by falling leaves, and walking beneath them feels like stepping into a painting. Autumn in Japan is nature's most graceful bow. And then comes winter, a time of purity and wonder. Snow blankets villages like Shirakawa-go, where thatched roof houses glow with light against a frozen backdrop. The snow monkeys of Jigokodani soak in steaming hot springs, their eyes half closed in serenity. In cities, lanterns and lights shimmer on streets, while steaming bowls of ramen, oden, and nikuman warm hands and hearts. Winter in Japan is both silence and celebration. But beyond the beauty of nature and architecture lies another wonder, Japanese craftsmanship, shokunin spirit. A philosophy of dedicating one's life to a single craft, pursued not for fame, but for perfection. Whether it's a swordsmith folding steel, a potter shaping clay, or a calligrapher brushing ink onto rice paper, each action is a meditation. Time, patience, and soul are poured into everything they create. Visit Takayama or Kanazawa and find lacquerware polished to a mirror sheen. Wander the backstreets of Kyoto and discover artisans hand-weaving kimonos with silk dyed by the natural world. In every shop, every market stall, every tea house, lies a story of devotion. This isn't mass production, it's legacy. And speaking of legacy, no exploration of Japan is complete without tasting its culinary wonders. Japanese cuisine isn't just food, it's an art form, a philosophy of harmony and seasonality. Begin your morning with a traditional breakfast: grilled fish, miso soup, pickles, rice. simple, yet deeply nourishing. At lunch, dive into a steaming bowl of tonkatsu ramen, rich and savory, or savor kairashi sushi, where fresh slices of fish rest like jewels atop seasoned rice. Evenings bring elegance. Kaiseki dining, a multi-course meal that unfolds like a story told through taste, balance, and presentation. Every dish is chosen to reflect the season, the region, and the moment. A single cherry blossom petal on a dish. A ceramic bowl chosen for its texture. Everything has purpose. Then there's street food, takoyaki sizzling in iron molds in Osaka's lively dotonbori, or okonomiyaki grilled right at your table. Mochi pounded by hand in Nara, still warm and dusted with kanako. The delight of fresh taiyaki fish-shaped pastries filled with sweet bean paste eaten under glowing lanterns in a temple market. Food in Japan is not just eaten. It is experienced. And Japan doesn't just offer one kind of travel, it offers many. For the adventurer, there are trails through ancient forests, like the Kumano-Koto pilgrimage paths in Wakayama, where moss-covered stones lead past shrines, waterfalls, and silent peaks. For the curious, there's Naoshima, the art island, where world-renowned installations rise from the sea, and museums are carved into hills. For the romantic, there's Otaru, with its canals lit by glass lamps in winter, or the quiet beaches of Amami-Oshima, where turquoise waves meet untouched shores. Then there are the villages, tiny time capsules hidden in the mountains and countryside. In places like Sumigo or Magomi, power lines are hidden, and the buildings remain as they were hundreds of years ago. Stay in a ryokan, a traditional inn, and sleep on tatami mats. Soak in an onsen, dress in yukata, and enjoy a home-cooked feast served by hand. These places are the heart of Japan's soul. And still, there's the spiritual heart of the country. The countless shrines and temples that dot the land like stars. In Isa, the Grand Shrine is rebuilt every 20 years, a symbol of renewal. In Nikko, lavish carvings and gold leaf-adorned temples nestled in deep forests. In Koyasan, monks chant by candlelight as pilgrims spend the night in temple lodgings, waking at dawn for meditation and simple meals of shojin ryori, Buddhist vegan cuisine. Religion in Japan is quiet, personal, and integrated into daily life. Shintoism and Buddhism weave together, creating a worldview that honors ancestors, nature, and impermanence. Every gate passed through, every hand clapped before prayer, every coin offered, becomes a connection to something greater. And while the past holds strong, Japan looks forward with dazzling innovation. In Osaka's Expo City, in Tokyo's Odaiba, in research centers across the country, robotics, AI, and future tech push boundaries. And yet, in every neon glow, there's respect for tradition. It's not about abandoning the old, but blending it with the new. The trains run with precision, down to the second. The vending machines offer everything from hot coffee to fresh ramen. The toilets sing. Yet at the same time, the mountains still echo with the sound of temple bells. Children still practice kendama and shodo. Elders still tend moss gardens with careful hands. Japan moves forward without forgetting who it is. Even the language reflects this harmony. The Japanese word wabi-sabi speaks of beauty in imperfection and impermanence. It's the crack in a teacup, the faded paint on an old shrine door. It's about finding peace in the passage of time. And omotenashi, Japanese hospitality, is more than service. It's anticipating needs before they're spoken. It's heart given freely, without expectation of reward. And it's that spirit that stays with every traveler. Not just the sights, the sounds, the tastes, but the feeling of being welcomed. Of being invited not just to observe, but to belong. Japan does not shout its wonders, it whispers them, gently, like wine through the bamboo. As dusk falls and the lanterns begin to glow in a Kyoto alley, as the sun dips behind Mount Fuji casting the land in gold, as a train hums through the countryside past endless rice fields and small shrines, you realize something: Japan is not just a place to see. It's a place to feel. It's a place to remember. It's a place to return to, again and again, not just in person, but in heart. As night deepens across the Japanese archipelago, a quiet magic awakens. In the stillness of a temple courtyard, you might hear the toll of a bronze bell echo through the trees. In the backstreets of a quiet town, the smell of yuzu and grilled sweet potato drifts from old wooden homes. There is a kind of hush here that invites reflection. Japan doesn't just astonish you, it humbles you. Even in its modern pulse, there is a balance that few places achieve. Take Tokyo, a world capital that never sleeps, yet offers silent corners where time stands still. Walk from the crowded crossing of Shibuya into the sanctuary of Meiji Shrine, and you're transported from chaos to calm within moments. Or explore the architectural wonder of Tokyo Skytree, rising like a modern obelisk into the clouds, and then descend to discover Edo-era gardens hidden among glass towers. Osaka, too, offers a dual identity: boisterous, proud, full of flavor in life. The people are warm, the food is louder, the energy tangible. In Dotonbori, giant neon crabs wave above bustling takoyaki stands. But just a few streets away, you'll find retro alleys with tiny bars where strangers become friends over warm sake and old jazz records. This contrast is part of Japan's rhythm, where opposites are not in conflict, but in harmony. Then there is the art of Japan, not only in museums and galleries but etched into daily life. In the stroke of a single kanji character. In the play of shadow and light on a shoji screen. In the perfection of a tea bowl. From the floating world of ukiyo-e woodblock prints to the minimalist masterpieces of Tadao Ando's architecture, Japan redefines beauty through simplicity and detail. It's a place where emptiness has meaning. Where silence is part of the melody. In Nara, deer roam free among temple grounds, and the lantern-lined paths of Kasugatesha glow during festivals like soft stardust. In Matsue, the black walls of an ancient castle reflect on water like ink on parchment. In Yufuin, the mist rolls over green hills as steam curls from rustic hot springs. These places aren't tourist destinations, they're chapters in a living poem. Venture off the beaten path, and more treasures emerge. The Oki Islands, floating in the Sea of Japan, offer untouched nature in spiritual depth. The Aya Valley, with vine bridges and remote villages nestled in steep cliffs, feels like a secret kept for centuries. In Tottori, golden sand dunes stretch toward the horizon like a Japanese desert, kissed by ocean winds and traced with camel footsteps and dreams. Even underground, Japan captivates. In Tokyo and Kyoto subways, efficiency meets artistry: color-coded maps, melodic departure tunes, and tiled walls with subtle patterns. And beneath the mountains near Gifu, the caves of Hida offer subterranean beauty sculpted by nature's patient hand over thousands of years. In Japan, the wonder exists not just above ground, but beneath your feet. Technology, too, takes on an almost spiritual quality. The robotic guides in museums. The AI hotel attendants who bow as you check in. The precision of Japan's railways, where trains arrive within seconds of their scheduled time every time. And yet, even here, old ways endure. A tea shop run by the same family for generations. A craftsman carving no masks in a tiny workshop. A fisherman mending nets before sunrise on the same beach his ancestors walked. The festivals are another form of national poetry. The surreal Nabuta Matsuri of Omori, where massive glowing floats parade through the night, powered by drums and dance. The mystical Gion Matsuri of Kyoto, with ancient processions winding through lantern-lit streets. Snow festivals, fire festivals, harvest dances, and moon-viewing ceremonies, each one a window into a tradition that still breathes. Even death is honored with beauty in Japan. In the quiet corners of cemeteries, where moss grows thick over family gravestones, and incense rises in thin threads of memory. On Oban, paper lanterns float down rivers, a glowing farewell for spirits welcomed back home for just a few days. Here, the afterlife isn't feared, it's embraced, with reverence and grace. The relationship between people and nature in Japan is not simply aesthetic, it's spiritual. Mountains are sacred. Trees are guardians. Rivers are storytellers. Shrines sit nestled in forests, placed not to dominate nature, but to exist within it. In the stillness of places like Yakushima Island, where ancient cedar trees have stood for over 7,000 years, you feel the heartbeat of something eternal. It's not mythology. It's presence. And so many layers of life unfold beneath the surface. The subcultures of Harajuku fashionistas, blending cosplay and couture. The underground jazz bars in Sapporo, where music speaks more than words. The drifting villages of Japan's inland sea, where time slows to the rhythm of tides and tides alone. Japan's wonders are not only seen. They're felt in glances, gestures, silences, and shadows. The hospitality, omotenashi, is not reserved for luxury hotels. It lives in the tiny countryside guesthouse where an elderly couple prepares your meal by hand and bows as you leave. In the city, it's the taxi driver who plays classical music and refuses a tip. It's the shopkeeper who wraps your purchase with care as if sending you off with a gift. These are not acts of service. They are acts of soul. And finally, there is the philosophy of Japan. A belief that everything, no matter how small or fleeting, matters. That beauty lies in the imperfect. That silence can speak volumes. That life is a cycle of bloom and fall, of rise and rest, of past and future. And that each of us, for just a moment, gets to walk this path, guided by lantern light and cherry blossoms. So when you leave Japan, something stays with you. A quiet moment under a tree. The scent of tatami. The rhythm of a train ride through misty mountains. The sound of Getta's sandals on a stone path. It's more than memory. It's transformation. You arrive as a visitor. But you leave changed. Because the true wonder of Japan is not just what and no matter how far you go, no matter how many years pass, a part of you will always remain. Under the sakura trees, in the whispering bamboo, by the still water of a Zen garden. Japan is not just a country. It is a feeling. A moment. A memory that lives forever. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey through the wonders of Japan. If this video inspired you, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another adventure. Until next time, sayonara, and may your path always be filled with beauty, peace, and wonder.